So in this episode, I want to talk about two attributes that I think are important for all of your members to have if they are going to be a good addition to your warring clan. It's not the only two attributes that will help that individual do well in wars, but I think they're both very important and something that you should watch out for as you're recruiting members. So if we look at this recent war against Legend Team and one of our Town Hall 10s, Wikihead, he was 3-star during the war. If we go ahead and open the attack and start watching the attack, we can see that, he's a little behind in terms of a Town Hall 10, but he has at least max defenses for a Town Hall 9 and then slightly weaker walls. But he still shouldn't be getting 3-stars, so there's probably something wrong in the design of the base. And if we go ahead and watch the attack, we can see the attacker, has medium level heroes, max troops, and they don't have too much of an issue with moving through this base and 3-starring it. The golems do a really good job of staying wide and staying in front of all of the damaging units. And there's really just not that many walls that get in the way of the attacker's troops. And it ends in a 3-star, and it's not even close. He's got a bunch of golems left, an archer queen, and some wizards survived as well. Now the important thing is not that he was 3-starred here, but in our next war, he immediately changed. So then we go ahead and look at the attack in the war immediately after the one that we just watched, and this is again on Wikihead, and he's being attacked by actually a very similar troop composition to the last war. And as we see, he has completely redesigned his base. So what happened was the clan suggested that maybe there was a design flaw in his base and that he should consider redesigning it, and he agreed and decided to go ahead and change his base immediately. So adaptability is really the first thing that an individual needs to have to perform well in wars. What might be the flavor of the month attack in August could completely change in September. And so to remain a good warring clan, everyone needs to go ahead and be able to move forward and change their attacking styles as well as maybe change their defensive styles. And in this war, he was 2-starred, which is never great, but we can definitely live with that. So Wiki has been a strong, active warring member in our clan for a while now. Let's move on to the second attribute that I think is important, and this is probably the most important thing, and that's to focus on actually getting members that will participate and will get almost two attacks every single time. So if we look at this recent war that we had, it was in the last episode as well, where that clan just wasn't very good, mostly because they just had no activity. I would lean towards, only keeping the people in the war that attack twice. So even if it's going to be a lower town hall war, all these guys at the bottom, they're the future of the clan. So you want to keep them in the next wars. You're allowed to select who's in wars, so all these people that didn't attack twice, or especially those ones that didn't even attack once, leave them out of wars. And if, they don't seem like they're going to be a good long-term addition to the clan, then maybe it's time, to get rid of them and move on and try to find new members. This clan has 43 members, 39 members. It shouldn't be that hard to make a selection of 10 or 15 that are going to go ahead and get 2 attacks every time. Let's close out this episode by watching an attack in a current war that's going on right now. This attack just happened. It was done by GJ in our clan against a cut of the Locomotive 26. And what we've been talking to GJ about is better utilizing his hero abilities. And this attack happened just a few minutes ago. It starts off pretty normally. He does a good job of dropping a golem on each side and then supporting it with wizards. Drops a couple wizards that take care of that archer queen right away. You see she drops in just 2 hits. Then he starts opening up some walls, lays down a rage spell to get his wall breakers in there and open up some more compartments. And then the clan troops come out from the CC castle. He had a poison ready to go and was able to drop that, took out pretty much all the clan troops except that balloon. The wizards had no problem with adding that though, and then he dropped his heroes. This is where the attack started to look a little bit iffy because all of his troops ended up in the middle. Um, this base isn't super far along, so it wasn't a big concern. But this is where GJ did a much better job with his Barbarian King and Archer Queen abilities. He had been using them very early on. He noticed he wanted to get out of this space, and the other Barbarian King showed up, so good time to pop the BK ability. He's still got his AQ doing damage there, Witch there as well. Then his AQ starts taking out some units. It's targeted by a Tesla, so he pops her ability, and at this point you can tell that this is definitely going to go ahead and end up being a 3-star. And the attack finishes out. No troubles here, and this was a much needed 3-star for us because right now we're a little bit behind in this war when you look at attacks versus stars, but hopefully we'll be able to pull it out. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you join for episode 3 as well.